This is the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy EARTHRISE Deluxe Class Hoist. Now, the figure is part of the first wave of these Deluxe Class figures for EARTHRISE. I picked up this figure at Hobby Corner, and here's a quick look at the box art. Packaging, pretty cool. Let's get him out of packaging. And just before we begin, the secret message to be decoded using the red film strip on Hoist is Junkion, the planet of junk where Retgar and his buddies live. And here is Hoist out of packaging. He doesn't look as bad as I thought he would be, but wow. You know, back in G1, I was never a big fan of Trailbreaker and Hoist simply because the robot modes, the way they looked in toy form, they did not look like how they looked like in the cartoon, and they were like, the proportions were really off. But what I love about this figure, it pays homage to the G1 style of the toy, and yet at the same time, it gives it a modern update by giving it better proportions, better articulation, fantastic colors, and just an overall amazing sculpt and engineering for the figure. I really liked it. I mean, look at this. It's a very solid Hoist figure. Better than the old Generations toy that we got ages ago. Head sculpt looks so G1, at least in toy form. Look at that big torso. That's how he was in the toy. And he's got these spindly legs. But what they did for the Generations is they sort of proportioned the legs with the arms. And despite having such a big offset torso, the proportions actually work for this figure. Very cool. You can actually put this one on here. But it was Trailbreaker who really had this particular piece right here in Hoist. I don't recall him having that. Maybe he did, but he had that orange bits instead of that thing. But yeah, and here he's holding his weapon. And the weapon actually makes it appear like one of his hands is a blaster, which is how the toy was. And I'm sure we'll get the same thing from Trailbreaker. You can actually put it on either, you can put it on either hand, which is fine. Depends on how you want it. The instructions say to put it in the right hand, but if you want to stay true with G1, I think it was the left hand that was the blaster. You can obviously store that weapon on either one of these ports or pegs. That's fine, if you wanted to. Okay. Now you're probably wondering why he has these bits under his arms, because that's how the toy was. And I'm not complaining too much because that's how he really looked like the G1 toy. Now, having said that, you know, they could have updated it to make it look more like the cartoon with a flap. So you'll have the options. If they put a hinge right here, it could fold up right there. It would be hidden a little bit. So you'd have that option to make it toy accurate or cartoon accurate. But overall, I'm very pleased with the sculpt. As for paint apps, you get a nice Autobot logo right up here on his belly. Some weathering here, which you'll see more in alt mode. He's got that yellow and black stripe because he is a service truck. It's pretty cool. I love how the orange just pops. It's very tangerine type of orange, muted orange. You get some nice white plastic and really amazing green plastic. This is Hoist. The colors are so true to Hoist. Articulation for the figure. He's got a ball jointed neck, a little bit loose on my copy, but not too loose. Waist swivel. Okay. He's got the shoulders can go inward and out, and there's another hinge that allow you to move the arms forward and backward, but this flap is going to go with it. He's got a bicep swivel, hinge elbow, and a swivel wrist. Okay. Hips can go do the splits, forwards and backwards. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees because of transformation, and some rocker tilt, some rocker pivots. As for size comparisons, here he is with Siege Voyager class Optimus Prime. And if you're wondering if he's a big, medium, or small type of deluxe class figure, he's in the big range, much like Ratchet and Ironhide. And here he is with a regular sized deluxe class figure, Hound. and with a smaller scaled deluxe class figure, Cliff Jumper. So he's a very good scale because back in the cartoon, Hoist and Trailbreaker were one of the bigger guys like Ironhide and Ratchet. So transformation, he comes with a really detailed instruction manual. Very nice, very impressive from Hasbro. They're really learning how to do this thing. So, okay, let's take off the weapon and then fold the arm, rotate the arms this way. Okay, that's that. And then, well, Trailbreaker has this, but I think Hoist doesn't have that. So I kept it down, but it doesn't matter. You're gonna keep it down anyway. So what you wanna do is you wanna unpeg this whole backpack. Just keep it like that. Okay, then fold the head backwards like this. Okay, then what you wanna do is you wanna raise the arms this way, rotate the shoulders this way, okay? And then what you want to do is detach this whole torso section like that and fold it all the way up. Now this waist section, as you can see, is a little bit of a J shape. This flat peg right here is going to tab in right there under that slot. Don't worry if it keeps popping off. It's really meant to do that. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to fold the feet. You see these tabs right here. They're going to tab in right there to those slots. Okay. That's the reason for the double joint on the knees. Okay, like that. Easy peasy. Okay. And then this is probably the hardest part of the transformation, probably the most difficult part. And every time, every EARTHRISE figure has this bit of a sketchy type of transformation. It's time you fold the shoulders down like this, like that. Don't worry if it doesn't line up all the way in. What you need to do is you want to squeeze in those shoulders right in there, just like that, right in underneath these two hip pegs of sorts. Okay, then once you've done that, go ahead and fold the arms this way, and then you can go ahead and close down the front part of the car. Okay, not yet, maybe. Oh, okay. Okay, like that, just like that. Okay, and fold up those arms so that they don't scratch the floor in car mode. And then these panels right here, they're gonna slide into those holes right there. They don't really peg in, they just stay there. And then these pegs right here, right there, they are going to tab into those slots right there. Okay. All right. Okay. Oops. Okay. So that's probably the most difficult part, but once you've done that, then it's all good. So fold these out. I don't know if they're light bars or no, they're not. They're just part. Okay, that's never happened before. Okay, sorry. At least it's a real rolling wheel here. You gotta remove the hitch or the towing platform. Tab it like that, and as you've seen, there's a real wheel that will roll together with the wheels when you roll them around, and that's that. Go ahead and fold this. This one you got to fold it all the way, then snap it into place like that. But I usually won't do that because it's just a pain to just get rid of it, and the only way to move it is to remove this and just fold that out. So anyway, so that's the alt mode, and the gun can be stored right here, which is fine. Right there or here. Okay, so there you go. There is his tow truck alt mode hoist. I'm really liking it. Very cool. For size comparisons, here he is with Leader class Optimus Prime, who's also a Voyager class, and Wheeljack. He's actually a little on the small side. He's in scale, I think, with Optimus Prime, but for Wheeljack's a little bit big. So, yep. Very nice. Very cool. I'm actually quite impressed with this alt mode. It feels hollow at some parts, but it's good enough. It rolls nicely, and I think it's a solid enough alt mode that will hold amongst all the War for Cybertron Trilogy figures. So, on a final note on this figure, I think it's great. I think it's a very, very wonderful rendition of Hoist. I love the alt mode. I love the robot mode. Slightly tricky transformation with the shoulders and arms. But all in all, I think it's a great figure. The figure is going to get a 9.5 out of 10 for me. It's a great underrated figure. A lot of people are just buying Wheeljack and Optimus Prime and whatnot. But I think it's a worthy pickup. If you're collecting all the Autobots from Generation 1, Season 1, and you need a modern, very modern update, which still pays tribute to the G1 Hoist, this is the figure you want to get. It's certainly better than that Generations figure we've gotten years ago. I'm really happy Hasbro's doing this. So far, EARTHRISE has been an awesome line, maybe even better than the Siege line. And I cannot wait to get my hands on the repaint of this figure as Trailbreaker. So there you go, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this little video review. If you did, please let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this new Hoist figure. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. This has been the Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Trilogy EARTHRISE Deluxe Class Hoist. Thanks for watching.